I lived with my mom when we went to TJ. I never got to see my dad when I was in TJ.
But he was down there too, or?
I never really had a place to call home because, like, I always knew we were bound to move all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I never got attached. Like, even with my room, too, I never even took time to decorate my room. Like, I grew up in the crazy ones, like the Pentecostal, where people are dancing, people are cheering, people are, like, passing out on the floor.
How did that impacted you? What was your perception, or what would you think when you see something like that? Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Ya Estás Podcast, where we listen but we don't judge, you know what I mean? Today's episode, our guest, he is a young man. I actually met him at Fearless. Shout out to Fearless Church, and he's actually part of the youth there. And it's very intriguing how this young man is serving. He's dedicated. You can see he's got a fire and a passion for God and obviously for the people. So, hey, let's give a welcome and appreciate you for stopping by, my boy Styx of the building.
Oh, thank you, Fernando. I'm Isaac. My real name is Isaac, but everyone knows me as Styx. That's my nickname. I don't think a lot of people know what my real name is because I'm just so known by Styx. Shout out to my brother for giving me that name.
Hey, that nickname is sick.
Yeah,
Styx is sick.
Yeah, I was trying to be a producer and I needed like a nickname.
Oh, really?
So he's like, bro, just flow with Styx, and I was like, oh, you know what? That's not bad,
I like it.
Ever since then, like I just been known as Styx.
That's sick. Wait, so you were trying to be a producer?
Yeah, I was. I used to make beats. I was into it for a little bit, but I was into it for the wrong reasons. Like I was trying to just like get money out of it. I was trying to get fame out of it. And then and it died down pretty quick because like my motives weren't in it for like myself. Like I was doing it for other reasons.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
and that just like, and then like that. I still make them, but it's like a hobby now.
Okay.
Because I was trying to pursue that as a career.
Okay.
But now I'm just like, if I have some free time or spare time, like I just make beats now.
Oh, that's sick, bro. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll definitely talk about that off cam. But man, let's get into your story, man. And
Yeah.
hey, where did you grow up? Where were you born?
I was born and raised here in San Diego. But I've been all over San Diego, honestly. And then for a period of time, I lived in TJ for like about like 3 years.
Oh,
or 3 or 4, because I did preschool and kindergarten out there. But as much as I can remember, I lived out in Poway, and then from Poway we went to TJ, and then from TJ we went to La Mesa here, and then after that we went to my grandma's house, and then after that we moved to El Cajon.
Oh,
and then from El Cajon we went to Linda Vista, and then from Linda Vista, we didn't have somewhere to stay for a little bit, so I was with my friends, so I went back to El Cajon, and then afterwards, now I'm in Rancho Peñasquitos.
Oh, PQ?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been all over the place.
You've been all over the city. Yo, so when I did Dago Anthem, I thought I've been around all over the city, but shoot, man, you've been cruising. So was that moving around, was mom and dad involved in this whole thing, or?
When I was in Poway, dad was around, but then things got complicated between my mom and my dad. So then my mom and my dad separated. So after that, like my dad wasn't very much in the picture. And me growing up, I really didn't see him a lot. Like my mom didn't really let me see him for certain reasons, which I understand, she has her reasons.
Yeah.
And I never really got to see him, but then I got to an age where like I really wanted to see him, and she's like, all right, you can go. And then I started seeing him little by little, like every other weekend, but it wouldn't be like so often. It would just be like once a month, or like if she felt like letting me see him sometimes. So
how was that like every time you would see your dad? What kind of emotions were?
I would be happy, honestly. I wouldn't be like, oh, like I don't know this dude, it would be more like you know what, like, hey, like he's my dad, like I'm curious to know him,
Yeah.
Because my mom tells me one thing, and then like I'm like that's not who he is, like I don't know if that's how he truly is,
Yeah.
But I was just trying to get to know him, so every single time I would get to see him, like I would be happy. Like I knew like he was my dad, so like yo, like like it's like I feel like that's for like every little kid, like if they see their dad, like they're gonna get happy,
Yeah. So was like growing up, what time period was this around?
I was between like 8 or 10, like in that period of time.
Okay,
Yeah.
when your dad moved down to TJ?
Yeah.
And you say you moved down to TJ with him, or?
No, that was with my mom because things got too complicated out here. Like my mom, like her income wasn't like the highest, so like the only thing she could afford was for us to live in TJ. So
Okay.
we would have to cross the border like almost every day to come to school and stuff.
Oh.
So, and then she had to work 2 jobs, and then we had a house in TJ. I mean, cause she was able to afford it because it's TJ and it
Yeah.
was cheap. But no, yeah, I lived with my mom when we went to TJ. I never got to see my dad when I was in TJ.
But he was down there too, or?
Yeah, he was still down there at the time, but I didn't know until like later on. Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't know he was in TJ till like I was like older. He's
okay.
like, yo, yeah,
But you do remember your dad as a little kid, or?
yeah, I do. Yeah, I remember all the things that we used to go. I remember him taking me to the park and stuff. Like when we even talk about it too, when I see him today, and he's like, we talk about it. And I'm like, no, yeah, like I do remember. Like I
Mm.
have like images in my head of us like, having fun together and going out to the park and going out to eat and stuff.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So that bouncing around,
Hmm.
what did that create in you? Like, was it some sort of uncertainty, or? Because it seems like you didn't have like a place where you can call home and that you,
Yeah.
this is
No,
my home.
I
What?
really never did. Honestly, um, I never really had a place to call home because like I always knew we were bound to move all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So like I never got attached to like to the areas that I was in and stuff. Like even when like gangs too, like I would like people would be like, "Oh, join this little clique," or like come be with us. But I'm like, bro, like I'm okay, cause like if
Mm,
I would be committed to that and then I end up moving somewhere else,
yeah.
like I don't know, like I was playing it smart in my head, with stuff like
Shit.
that. I never really wanted to be involved with that type of life. But yeah, no, I'm not like even with my room too. I never even took time to decorate my room because I already knew like, bro, like if I put time into this, like I'm gonna just have to tear it all down. And
Yeah.
I like my mindset was already, oh, we're always on the go, like we're always on the go. So like there's no point into like just doing stuff around the house. So
Yeah.
and I was never really home either too. I would always avoid being home, like being outside, being with friends. Even when I was little, when I used to be in elementary, um, I remember I used to just go home and just put my backpack away, and then I would just go down the block and go hang out with my friends all day. And
Mm.
I was like 6 or 7, and then I wouldn't come home till like 8. But my mom knew where I was, so she wasn't really too worried.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Were you like a skateboarding kid,
uh,
or?
a lot of people think I am, but I wasn't.
Okay.
I used to scooter though. I used
Oh,
to scooter a
scooter.
lot. Yeah.
Or you do the
Yeah, I used
the
to do that.
spin,
Yeah, I don't
huh?
think I can do that now.
Hey, you're still young. How old are you again?
I'm 20.
Okay.
Yeah, I just turned 20.
Oh, you're a youngster, man.
Yeah.
A youngster. Okay. So, I'm. This is how I see things, bro. There's always two sides of everything, right?
Yeah.
And it seems like what was happening with you, it's that whole moving around
Mm,
was, if you look at the good side, is you didn't get involved with gangs,
yeah.
right? Where that could have been something a little more,
Hmm.
a little more drastic, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, and there was a period where I was really close into just joining a little clique, but I'm not gonna lie, what scared me the most was like he's like, yo, bro, like we're gonna jump your window, me personally, I was like, I mean, I was young, so I was like, bro, what is that? And he's like,
mm,
bro, it's like when a whole bunch of us just jump you, we sock you out, and I was like, oh, and then like he was just going into details like about other things, and I was like, and I really thought it through,
hmm
and I was like, you know what? I'm like, nah. And then a couple weeks later, I ended up moving, and I wasn't even gonna be in the area. So I was like, man, what was the point, you know?
you would have gotten jumped for nothing, bro.
Yeah. So I'm like,
Which neighborhood was this?
um, I don't want to speak about that. I
Okay,
don't want to get too deep into that one.
that's okay. It's
But
okay. I respect.
yeah, it was just funny though, cause I was like, bro, and then me and the guy were just laughing about it. So I was like, bro, like,
Yeah.
would have been no point. But I
So
always
you still talk to this guy? Or?
Nah, not anymore. That was back then.
Oh.
But that's why I always tell the kids, like, I mean, cause I'm a youth leader. I always
Mm.
tell them about that. I was like, bro, just make sure like you think it through.
Mm.
If you want to be truly committed, cause I can't control their actions.
Yeah.
I can't control if they really want to be a part of something or not. So
Mm.
I just tell them like, hey, bro, like make sure you think it through. Make sure whose life you're putting in danger. Make sure your own life. Too. Like
Yeah.
you know, because like it might be all fun and games like in the moment, but like later on in life, like like I'll hunt you down, you know, for the things that you did and stuff.
Something that I heard from Miles Monroe, who's,
Hmm.
man, I've learned a lot from this man. And he's not no longer with us, but he just left a legacy here. He said, always think about the consequences.
Yeah,
Like, don't think about the now and like, okay, it's gonna feel good, it's gonna be cool. No, think about what's gonna happen tomorrow.
yeah,
He said that's why that man, he married as a virgin. Him and his wife, they,
yeah.
and that's a beautiful thing. He said, yeah, because I always thought about, okay, getting the girl pregnant,
Hmm.
catching the disease, you know, and other things, obviously. But that's good, man. It seems like you already had that conviction in you, right?
Yeah.
So, growing up, was there any church involved? Any?
Yeah, no, most definitely. My mom, all that I know, like since I was born, we always been going to church.
Mm.
I grew up in churches. Like I grew up in the crazy ones, like the Pentecostal, where people are dancing, you know, people are cheering, people are like passing out on the floor, and stuff.
Shaking and
Yeah,
stuff?
shaking. So like I seen a lot of crazy things. So I'll be like yo, like that's pretty crazy, you know.
What was that? Uh, how did that impacted you? What was your perception,
I
or what would
was
you think when you see something like
when I was young, I would see that and I'd be like, man, like is that how you have to encounter Jesus?
that?
Like I would be
Mm.
like, and I always like I was always seeking that, but like bro, like I would never fall on the floor, you know, like I would never like cry or something. So I don't know, like I would just be there because of my mom, because I mean I was young, you know, like
Yeah.
I didn't have no other choice, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
so she was like tienes que venir conmigo, so I was like all right, you know, like I'll go. But then as I got older, like she stopped like during high school she stopped forcing me, because even when I would go, like I wouldn't even stay, like I would just stay for the worship and then leave during the word.
Mm.
And like I would just grab her keys and just go in the car and just like wait till it was over.
Oh, really?
And I remember like a lot of the kids were like, I remember one time I got pressed like in the I was just chilling with with the youth, and I was just there just trying to enjoy my time, or just, you know, cuz they told me to go up with the kids, and then one of them was all like, "Hey, do you bang?" And I was like, "Bro, like why are you asking me that here?" Like,
Yeah.
bro, like I'm like, "No, I don't do that, bro." Like, and then like I don't know, and then ever since then, like I don't know, every single time too, I would be like around other youth too. Like I would always get look at like weird, like, or some type of way. Cause I mean I went to those Pentecostal churches, so like everyone would go nice, like suited and like, you know,
Oh, okay.
so like everybody would go fancy, and then me, like I'll just show up like this. Like
Yeah.
I'll show up in some sweatpants. Like how fearless is, you know, like,
Yeah.
like just like that.
Very casual, right?
Yeah,
Right.
casual. But people thought like I was like trying to disrespect, and I was like, bro, like I'm not.
So, who you got pressed by the youth?
Not really pressed, but he just told me like, bro, do you bang? Like, but he said it like in a tone where like if I did, like there was gonna be like an issue. Cause I don't know if you had those like type of situations where
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I've
like
been
it's
get
like
banged
the
on,
way they
but
come, like the way it comes
yeah.
out, like you're like,
Oh,
bro,
I've been get banged on a
yeah,
bunch of times, but I'm from south of the border, so I just say, yeah, I'm from Ensenada.
yeah,
Make
yeah. No, see, like with me, like I don't even say like no, I don't, cause bro, like I've been all over the place,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I
But
got
it,
no hood to claim. So
but the what's crazy is that you got banged by someone in the church, right?
yeah,
No.
but he was like a goody two shoes. Like I was like, bro, like
Yeah.
it was just funny to me because it was just like I was like
So
it
do
was
you?
so random.
Yeah. Do you think it was because of like a religious, like, hey, if you bang, you don't belong
I
here
I
type?
don't know, honestly. I never really got to talk to him after that.
Mm.
But like I'll try to talk to him here and there and crack jokes, but you could tell like they didn't really want to hang out with me. So I was like, all right, like I'll go
Yeah.
back to my own lane, you know, like
Yeah.
I'm just here because my mom is telling me to be here.
So
But
they basically didn't really
yeah,
do what the church is called to do.
yeah, like I wasn't really accepted and stuff.
Yeah.
That's why like I love Fearless, because regardless of like how you look or what you do, like bro, like I'm gonna show love on you, because that's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
God did, you know.
Yeah.
Like God showed love to a crippled man. Like why wouldn't I show love to a kid that's hurt, you know?
Oh yeah. Well, that's
So
what, and that's what I mean, bro. That's what we're called for.
yeah.
That's the commission is to make disciples, right?
Hmm.
And we actually our last episode that we just put out, we talked about discipleship and what is really that like.
Yeah.
You know, and discipleship is to pretty much live life with others, bro. You know, like how Jesus discipled the 12.
Yeah.
And, you know, he didn't choose the goody two shoes, the religious, the one that kept all the, you know, the commands and all that. So how would you say your experience was at the this type of church?
Honestly, not that well. That's when I stopped going mostly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when my mom also stopped going too. She stopped going to church. I mean, cause COVID hit, but even before COVID hit, like we stopped going to church after,
Mm.
cause that church just became more of like they cared more about ministry than people. So
Yep.
um,
It happens a lot.
and then my mom is very self-aware of that, cause when I was little too, we used to go to a church, and it first started off like, yo, we care about you guys, you know, and then they put ministry over people, and then they only cared about like the money at the end, and then that's why we left that church, and then after that we were just like church hopping, like we were just going to different churches to go check them out. But at every church I would go to, like we would go check out, like I'd always get mistreated, and my mom saw that, you know, even my mom saw that I got yelled at one time for no reason, and
By
by one of the leaders, and I was like, bro, like I'm just a kid, like
yeah.
like so
How did that give you or shape your perception of God?
honestly, it wasn't more on God, it was more on people following God. So like
Okay.
and then that's when I started hating church, because I was like, man, like church is just a whole bunch of hypocrites, you know, like
Yeah.
y'all say y'all perfect, y'all say y'all calm, but then this is happening to me over and over again. And so like that's why like I stopped going to church, and I even told my mom too. I was like, Mom, you know what? I'm gonna stop going. I really told her this. I was like, Mom, I'm not gonna go to church until I have a family, because I want to show them like an example, and that's how how it just changed my mindset on church, because I was like, man, I'm not trying to be around a whole bunch of hypocrites,
Yeah.
you know. But little by little, I mean, being at Fearless, like that changed my mind, you know. Like it's like
Yeah.
like it just changed the way that I think about certain things now.
So how was your relationship with Jesus?
Now,
No, back then.
oh,
Like,
back then I didn't even have a relationship. I didn't open my Bible. I didn't listen to worship music. Um,
what would you listen to?
I would just listen to rap, like
Mm.
underground stuff. Like I was doing drugs. I was doing stuff I shouldn't be doing, hanging out with friends I shouldn't have been around with,
Mm.
and stuff like that. You know, watching stuff I shouldn't have been watching.
Mm.
Like I was very lost and stuff. I was like I didn't care about church anymore.
When was the first time you consumed?
Um, like seventh grade.
7th grade. So, wow. So you were like what, 13,
Yeah, like 14, 13. No, 14. I was like 14.
14? Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that happened because hanging out with the wrong crowd and.
Yeah, I was. Honestly, I didn't even get peer pressured. I peer pressured myself, because I was trying to look cool,
Mm.
and I was around them, and they're like, Isaac, you smoked, right? And I'm like, yeah, I have. Never in my life have I hit a joint or blunt. And I was
Really?
like, yeah, bro, I have. I mean, I knew what it was because of my siblings, you know? So
Yeah.
I was like, no, yeah, like, I done that. I never done that. So when they passed it to me, I was like, shoot, I got no other option to hit this. So like, I
Yeah.
hit it, and I was like, dude, I was just
So
like,
you almost spit a lung out,
yeah, I was
huh?
all like, bro, like, and I only took 2 hits, but that was like my first time ever. So I was all like, bro, like I was like, what the heck is this? So
Could
I
they
was,
tell? Could they tell it was your first time,
uh,
or you
I don't.
played
I
around?
told them after. I was like, cause I was panicking after. I was like, bro, like I never done this, bro. Like I was just lying. So like they were just like taking care of me after.
Mm.
But the thing that I like about that group is that they didn't peer pressure me. It wasn't
Mm.
them that like they forced me to do it. I was just like, yo, yeah, cause I was
Yeah.
trying to look cool. I wasn't trying to look like a bum, you know, like.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was just trying to fit in with the crowd.
That's it.
So
So you're trying to get acceptance?
yeah, I try to get acceptance. Yeah, I mean, cause another thing too, like growing up, I always grew up alone. Like
Mm.
even though I had a big family, I had a lot of siblings. Like I was always alone most of the time.
Mm.
As much as I can remember, like I would come home and no one would be home. My mom would be working 2 jobs. My oldest sibling was already married, so she was at the house, and then my second oldest sibling, he was just all over the place. And then my other sibling, she was also all over the place, just doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And then my brother, he was always at soccer practice and then always hanging out with friends. So like it's like I was always alone. So like I never knew how to feel accepted when I was little. So like so that's why like I would always like I always knew a lot of people. Like in high school, like I would hang out with a whole bunch of different crowds. Like I would hang out with like the weird kids or the cool kids. Like I would just be all over the place. Like
Yeah.
cause like I didn't know where I fit in, honestly. And then sometimes I would just be by myself.
So would you say you were struggling with identity?
Yeah, I was, honestly, cause I didn't even know who I was, honestly. Cause I remember one time I had my little cholo phase, but I was like, bro, like this is not even me. Like you can look, I would looked really out of place, and I was like, bro, like I'm just trying to fit in with the crowd, like.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I never really knew who I truly was until like I start getting older and like little by little.
How many siblings you got? I know you.
Total, I have 7. Yeah.
There's
Like
7 of y'all?
Yeah, 3 from my dad, and then my mom, and then 5 from my mom, and I'm the youngest out of
Out
all.
of all of them.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's wild that you say you felt lonely and I can see that too. Me being a older brother,
Mhm.
like I was always, hanging out with my friends, and I was always be on the street. And whenever my sister wanted to get around, I'm like, hey, get out of here,
Yeah, yeah,
Like
no, that's how I was. I would be like, bro, can I go with you with them? He's like, no, bro, like just get away from us. I mean, there would be times where my brother Dugo, he would take me and and I would go play basketball. But then I would understand why he didn't want me there with them, because then they would end up smoking or they would end up doing stuff, and they would be hanging out around people that I shouldn't be like seeing. And he's like, bro, he's like, just go home. 'Cause
yeah,
he knew once it started getting bad, he's like, bro, just go home. I
yeah,
was like, all right, I'll go home. But we weren't that far. It was like a couple blocks away. He's like, bro, just go
yeah.
home.
So it was more out of protection, but
Yeah, I had more protection.
yeah,
Yeah, like I feel like more of my siblings didn't want me around because like they didn't want me seeing certain things
yeah,
and stuff. But like I was very
like aware.
yeah, I was very aware. Like I'm a very visual person.
Yeah,
Like if like I tell a lot of people like, bro, you might think I'm not looking, but like I am. Like
yeah,
or like you might not think I'm hearing, but I am. Like
yeah.
I know what be going on half of the time. Like I'm not
Mm.
like I'm not dumb, you know? So
Well, it also like growing up how you did, it creates some sort of, well, once again, awareness and a
yeah.
level of maturity,
Yeah,
because
yeah, cause I told my mom too many times. Like we still have this topic still comes up. I was like, you know what, mom, I'm thankful, cause I know a lot of people hate being the young kid, but like I love being the baby of the family because I got to see and witness a lot of things that that just like made me who I am today. You know,
mm,
like like another reason too why I didn't join gangs or like wasn't involved with a lot of bad people was because of my siblings, you know? Like I'm like, you know what? Like this is what this happened, you know? Like why would I want this and this and that happen to me? You know, or why would I want my actions hurt my mom even more, you know?
yeah,
And like even with drinking too, like one thing like I'd never gotten drunk in my life. Like that's because of like my siblings, you know, like I'll see how like drunk they would get and like I'll see the side effects the next morning. Or like sometimes like
growing up and all that.
yeah, like they would crash out and I'm like, bro, like I don't even know what type of drunk person I'm gonna be, you know?
Yeah,
And I honestly thank God that I never gotten drunk in my life. Even though like I had the chance. Like one thing I was very addicted to weed, but alcohol like I stayed away the most. Like I tried it, I took sips, but like I couldn't yeah, like I remember one time I tried to take a shot of Hennessy like straight out the bottle, but nah, I
Hell
spit it
no.
back out.
Hell no. And I was a drunk man, and I never did that.
Yeah, no,
I
so
was like, ugh.
I even tried beer before too and stuff, but like now we're like I took sips, you know, now, like where like I finished one by myself.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I never gotten drunk because of like the things I would see and stuff and
yeah,
the way people act, and I was like, man, I'm not trying to act like that. I'm like, weed doesn't even make me act like that. Like weed
Yeah.
mellows me out, like, and that's
Yeah.
what I like. So
yeah. Why would you want to be like stumbling and throwing up and all that stuff? So, man, you got a very, very interesting story. So how'd you say you didn't have a relationship with God? And shout outs to your mom, by the way.
yeah,
Saludos, Coco. Because I know it sounds like she did everything that she had in
Yeah,
her power and her hands to.
yeah, that's one thing I encourage a lot, like with single mothers, like, if you're like my mom for years, like, she would I would always catch her praying, like, all
Mm,
the time. I would wake up in the middle of the night and she would be praying on her knees, or like I would wake up and there'd be worship music around the house, or like, I don't know, like, and I feel like that's why, like, I think there's such a big impact, and my whole family, like, the reason why my whole family now goes to church is because of my mom.
yeah.
It's not like, oh, my mom did all the work. Like, no, like, God used her. Her sacrifice was used for us to be freed and be delivered from chains that we were bound to.
Yeah.
And I told my mom when I was little, I used to tell my mom all the time, like, hey, ma, like, ¿qué es tu sueño? Like, what's your dream? Like, what do you want when you die? Like, and I'm like, you want like a fancy house? Do you want like cars? Like what do you want? And she's all like, todo lo que quiero, mijo, is like, um, my kids to be saved, like my kids to go to heaven, like.
Mm.
And I was like, yeah, well, that's cool, but like, what else do you want? And she's like, no, like that's it, like that's
Yeah.
all I want. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm all like, and I would tell her, like, what do you want from me, Mama? Like, what's your dream for me? Like, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
And it's crazy that what I'm doing today, like, it blows my mind. This is why I'm so encouraged to do it, because she would always tell me from the age of, like, when I was like a kid, bro. Like, she's like, I want you to lead the youth. Like, I see you leading the youth. Like, I see you like ministering. I see you like guiding the kids, like the broken kids. Like, and I would be like, and I would laugh. Like, I would literally laugh. I was like, no, I'm not, like that's crazy. Like, you're crazy for thinking that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not gonna happen. Like, like,
So,
and
so she was like prophesying almost,
yeah,
right?
she would do that, and I was all like, and now that I'm doing it, like, it just blows my mind, and what I'm doing too, like being part of Fearless Youth San Diego, like, it's just crazy to me, because I'm like, bro, I'm like, I'm a literally like answer prayer, like, you're an answer prayer, like, all of us are answer prayers, anybody who's watching this is an answer prayer.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why, like, when people talk about prayer, like I take it seriously, because I was like, dude, if it wasn't for my mom's prayers, like, or my mom's sacrifices, like, I wouldn't be sitting here, Who
Yeah.
knows what I would have been, who knows if I would have been stuck there. I would have kept, like, I would have kept myself in drugs, or, stuff like that,
Oh yeah.
For her faith being so strong, like it's the reason why, like, all my siblings are saved, they all gave their life to Christ, you
That's
know.
beautiful, man. That's
And
beautiful.
it's crazy how God just used her in those moments through those years, because it wasn't just through me. Like, I got saved when I was 18. And then my oldest sibling she's 34. So, like, it was years, like, of her praying and going at it, like, asking God for her kids. And I know my mom had her moments of giving up, but I know her faith, like, kept her up,
Mm-hmm.
like, her strength, her joy in the Lord, like, kept her up,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. That's why on the Fairwear merch I have the AK with oración and then the gun with
Yeah,
prayer because that's our spiritual weapon, man.
yeah.
They we don't fight against flesh and blood.
Mhm.
So we fight in the spirit realm.
Yeah,
And your mom's that was her weapon, and most efficient weapon,
yeah.
right? Because I mean, for all your family to be saved and now going to church and loving God, it's man,
And
that's a beautiful
I
thing.
remember, like, when I was little too, like, my siblings, or one of my sisters, like, she would crash out of nowhere, and then my mom would just grab her and start praying for her. Like, bro,
Mm,
like I would never, like, I mean, looking at it back then, like, I thought it was weird, but, like, thinking about how my mindset is now, like, I was like, dude, like, that's what, like, in my mind now, I was like, dude, that's what, like, a parent is, grabbing their kids, like, in moments of, like,
mhm.
of them, like, not feeling wanted or stuff. Like, my mom would just grab us and pray for us in moments and stuff. Like, even till this day, like, my mom still does it. Like, I be dead asleep, and she comes in the room, and then she just starts praying for me. And I was like, what the heck? Like, I'm just trying to sleep. But then I know why she does it,
Yeah.
and I just, like, let her pray for me.
Okay.
and stuff. But yeah, no, my
So
mom's been a prayer warrior.
yeah, I can tell, man. That's why I can see it in her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I've always been wanting to get her in here, but obviously because of scheduling and we're opposite schedules and stuff, or we just haven't been able to do it. But we'll do it, and I can see it in her, like the fire in her
Yeah.
and the passion and the fact that I mean I met most of your family. I don't know if I met all your sisters.
You probably, I think you haven't met one because she lives in Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she's out in Vegas. But
Okay. Even your niece, right? Yeah, like your niece
um,
comes here and goes to Fearless.
yeah, she's a
Yeah.
student leader there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So that's I mean, bro, look at that.
yeah.
I mean, even now, her like generation after generation.
Mhm.
So obviously, it seemed like the previous experience with religion, let's call it that, because literally that's what it is.
Yeah,
It seems like it shaped you and give you a passion to really serve the youth like you did not get served,
yeah,
right? And you deserve to be served, but you didn't get it.
yeah.
So you say you gave your life to Christ at 18. Like,
Yeah,
what was that experience like?
it was last. It wasn't this conference, but it was the last conference, and um, I was still smoking, um, but then I remember like, I gave it up for those 3 days,
Mm.
and I just remember just like worshiping like I never worshiped before, like
But why did you give it up?
um, cause in my mind I was like, why am I gonna go to church or to a conference like high, Like I
Mm.
want to be there sober minded, like I want to feel like the real like I want to feel like the spirit of God in the room, like I don't
Mm.
want to. If I'm high, like I'm probably just gonna feel the chills, like so like I was just like like I'm gonna go like sober minded,
Mm.
and I went, and yeah, I think that was the first time where like I truly worshipped. Like I lifted my hands up. I was like singing out loud. I didn't care what people said. And I remember I went to the front, and I just started crying out to him. And I remember Pastor Carlos came, and he just grabbed me, and then I started crying even more, and he started praying for me. And he's like yell out the things you want to be safe from, cry out the things that you want to be delivered from. And then like I just like let it all out in that moment. And
Mm.
then afterwards, like I just turned around and I saw my mom, and she was crying already, and I just ran to her and I just started saying sorry for all the things that I said to her.
Mm.
Started telling her sorry for all the things that I'd done to her, all the things that in any shape or way that I hurt her physically, mentally,
Mm.
spiritually. And I was just telling her sorry for the way that I would just acted towards her, and just
So you were being rebellious and disrespectful to your
yeah,
mom like all that time?
yeah.
Did you feel some sort of way towards her or?
No, not really. It's just like I don't know. I guess because my mom, well, I don't know. I never hated my mom, but
Yeah.
like, it's not like I would disrespect her in like in moments, but like deep down, like I knew I would hurt her in certain ways that I would do. Not doing good in school. Always getting called by the vice principal, like, yo, like come get your kid. Like he did something he shouldn't have done. And I was all like, so things like that, like 'cause
Like
I always make sure I treated my mom like respectfully, but I knew I did things sometimes where like they weren't right,
that it hurt her,
Yeah,
like
that hurt her.
so basically it's the stuff that you put her through,
Yeah, I put
right?
her through. Yeah.
Okay.
So, no, yeah,
You were repenting
yeah, I was just
towards God and also
yeah,
with your mom.
yeah,
So you felt the spirit of God heavy in you,
yeah.
and
No, I really did that day, and ever since then, I always felt the spirit of God. Like I know when the spirit of God is in the room and stuff.
Mm.
Like even when I walk into certain areas, like I was like, yo, like I feel like yo, like there's a bad spirit in the room, like. Or
Mm.
like I don't know if you know, but like when you kick it with someone, like you get like a wrong vibe off of them,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so like that, like so,
Well,
but
it's we're all energy.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like everything in this universe is energy.
yeah,
So when we're aware
mhm,
of that, you feel a lower vibration,
yeah,
like anger and hate, resentment, lust, all those.
yeah,
I mean, you go to a nightclub, the frequency is gonna be low.
yeah,
You know, you go to prisons, but when your frequency is high, that's when there's love, there's passion, there's all the fruits of the spirit,
Mm.
right? Patience, like all that brings our frequency high. As a matter of fact, if we go into the physical world and the science, that's what prevents a lot of disease to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
because cancer and all that stuff comes when there's like lower frequency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, man, so that's where you decided to give your life to God, and
Yeah, no, yeah, I did. And shout out to Pastor Carlos, too, for visiting me in the hospital, cause I was also going through suicidal thoughts,
oh what?
and because at this time already in life, my family, we had to move out of our place due to some family issues, and like we went separate ways. So when I said that I went to my homie's house, like my mom went to my sister's and stuff, but I couldn't stay there because the house was already too packed. So like I went to my homie's house to stay with them, and I remember that was like when it got to the lowest point in my life because I was smoking heavy. Um,
This is after conference?
no, this is way before conference.
Oh, okay,
This
okay.
is yeah. So this is and then I started taking I started taking Benadryl, cause my homie had cats, and I'm allergic to cats when I'm around them too much, or like I get allergies. And then afterwards, I would take like 5 a day or like 8, and you're not supposed to take that many Benadryl in a day, cause it even says in the bottle like be cautious warning, like makes you drowsy and sleepy.
Oh,
And like I would take like 5 a day or 8, cause like that's how bad my allergies would get. And I was like, dude, like I need to take another one, like bro, like your cats are killing me. And then mixing that with weed wasn't the best option. So like I would already be like drowsy, and then just hitting and then just smoking, like it would basically smoking weed was like a vape already, cuz I would be hitting it over and over again. And then I'm all like, bro, like this thing ain't doing nothing to me, bro. So like I would like go like I would smoke until like I would feel something. And then mixing that with the Benadryl wasn't the greatest option. Yeah, and then I remember I lost so much weight too. I I may look skinny now, but I was skinny bad then. Like I was 92 pounds. Like I had reached like rock bottom, and then I went to the hospital, and then I remember where like since we didn't have nowhere to stay, I was all like, you know what, like what's the point of like life? Like if I go back out to life, like it's just gonna be the same. Like it's not gonna matter. No one cares. Like it's whatever. Life is whatever. So like I was thinking about ending my life afterwards. Like after getting out the hospital, but then my brother saw that. Like he saw that I was getting down, and then he's like, "Hey, bro, can I bring my pastor?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Like whatever. Like it doesn't matter at this point."
this is Dougal,
Yeah,
right?
this is Dougal. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Yeah, bro, bring your pastor." Like I don't care. Like, and then Pastor Carlos pulls up, and he doesn't show up like your regular pastor.
Yeah.
Like he shows up how Dylan is dressed right now, and I'm like, I'm like, bro, what the heck is this? I was like, this guy ain't no pastor. I
Yeah.
just pull up in some basketball shorts and a tank top. Like, what is he gonna tell me? And then I remember the first thing he did was just show me love, even though I was hooked up to so many machines. Like, even though I looked like a skeleton, like I was all like, bro, like the first thing he did was just show me straight up love. He's like, bro, like I had a turban at the time. I had it wrapped around my head. And he's like, bro, he's like, that's so cool. Where did you get that from? He's like, bro, tell me about yourself. Like, what do you do? Like this and that. And I was like, bro, what the? So I was just sharing to him. And then we got so deep into the conversation where like 30 minutes already had passed by. And then they took me out the room, and I said bye to him. And then like an hour passed by, and then I came back, and then he was still there. And I was like, what the heck? I was like, bro, like, what are you still doing here? I'm like, don't you have family to go to? And he's like, yeah, bro, but like I forgot to do one last thing. And I was like, what is it? He's like, I forgot to pray for you. And I don't know what, but once he said that, like that shifted something in my heart. And I was like, what the heck? I was all like, after being mistreated by so many people in the church, after being hurt by so many people in the church, like this guy stayed, like he actually got to know me a little bit. Like he didn't even open his Bible or anything. He didn't even talk about God or anything. He was just getting to
Yeah.
know me. And then at the end, he just prayed for me, and I was like, what the heck? And then like that like got me really happy, and that gave me hope, and that gave me faith again. And I was like, yo, where's your church again? And I was like, oh, we're down in Imperial. I was like, okay. I was like, you know what? The first Sunday I get out of here, like I'm gonna go. And ever since then, like I was going consistently, like literally every single Sunday, and then up to conference, and then that's when I decided to give my life to God
Okay.
and stuff. But
That's beautiful.
yeah,
Man. That's beautiful.
yeah.
Hey, bro, can you check on the other disc just pulled up? If you don't mind, D. It's Man of War. He's a big guy with a beard.
What's his name?
Sam.
Sam?
Yeah. We're still rolling, right? Yeah. Okay. Wow. And see, that's the way you minister to people.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of, the street corner preachers and
Yeah.
with the megaphones and
Yeah.
and
And there's nothing wrong about that, you know. I mean, every soul gets saved differently, you know. Like,
yeah. I mean, if you get led by the Spirit of
yeah,
God, hey, who am I, right? I'm nobody to say it. What I do think that it's inefficient is when it's done out of because a man sends you to do so,
yeah,
right? And you're not being led by God, you're being led by men.
yeah,
And when there's no connection, then there's no impact.
mm-hmm.
And I say all that because of what you just shared right now with Los.
Yeah,
No, Los he went there and just connected with you.
yeah,
Like, hey, I like how you dress.
mm-hmm.
Not like, oh, you need to repent, you need to, give your life to
Yeah.
Jesus, because if you don't, you're gonna go to hell.
Yeah. No,
You know,
that's what I tell a lot of kids. I was like, bro, like we need to hang out. Like when I tell the youth, like, yo, like we need to hang out. Like bro, don't think, cause I'm gonna hang out with you, don't think we're gonna just talk about God. Like, I mean, yeah, we are. We're gonna touch on those topics, but I'm like, but I just want to get to know you. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I want to know your hobbies. Like, do you play sports? Like, if you play soccer, like, let's go kick a ball. You know, like,
Yeah.
you know, if you play video games, like, add me. You know, like, yo, like, let's play some games. You know, like, I realized through that, cause like a lot of kids have opened up to me just by doing that, not by me like, yo, bro, like, stop doing what you're doing. You know, like,
That's it.
but like, I realized that like just being like the culture that Fearless has is way different. Like, you know, like show love. Like, I remember one time one of the youth out of nowhere, like we're just talking, and he's like, hey bro, like what's your testimony? And to me, like I was just like shocked, because I was like, I was like, I'm not expecting it from this, you know. I'm not expecting it from this kid, you know. And I was all like, yeah, bro. He's like, this. I told him my testimony. He's like, what is it? Well, first he asked me what a testimony was, and then I told him what it was, and then I shared mine. And then after I got done, he started sharing his testimony with me, and I was like, oh shoot. And then that's when I really like locked in. I was like, yeah, bro. Like, you know, tell me more about it. Like, how was it growing up?
Yeah.
And little by little, he's like, yeah, like this and this happened. You know, my mom this, and you know, my dad that, and then this is how I just grew up. And I was like, shoot, bro, like this
Yeah.
is what it is, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I just had I had an encounter with God in that very moment. I was like, yo, like, God, like, thank you for allowing this, like, moment to happen, you know? You know, like instead of what we see out in the streets, like, you know, like, people, like, this kid was able to say something to me by me just, like, showing love to him and,
Yeah.
you know, cracking jokes and him being himself and me being myself, you know? And,
That's it, bro. We're all created in the image of God, right?
Yeah.
So you encounter anybody, you're encountering God,
yeah.
because there's God in each and every one of us,
Mhm.
right? It doesn't matter if they believe in God or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're we can learn from anybody,
Yeah.
and everybody, and also it's like we all have a unique purpose.
Yeah.
And then sometimes going back to what you were saying, where when you were at church as a young person and you seen people act in a certain way, speak in a certain way,
Yeah.
it almost becomes very like cliquish and very tribal, right? Like, okay, like if you want to belong with us, you have to dress a certain way, speak a certain way, behave a certain way. They're not allowing to from you to be you,
Yeah.
right? And we don't all worship the same way.
Yeah.
We don't all pray the same way.
No.
And that's all good with God, bro, because that's how he created us, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like it has to be this way, because it's like that's very unbiblical, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, because like sometimes we're worshiping, like I worship very different.
Oh yeah, you're on fire, right? You're
Like I'm
jumping,
like trying to like jump,
doing
like
cartwheels and
yeah,
stuff.
like like I'm running around the whole building and stuff, but that's because
That's beautiful, yeah.
that's because like that's the way I want to worship Jesus,
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
how like that's how David worshiped Jesus, so
Well, Jesus,
like
yeah,
and I tell
David got butt naked, so don't
yeah.
do that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go that far. But no, yeah. So like when I tell the kids, I was like, bro, you don't have to worship how I do, bro. Just know God sees your heart,
Yeah.
And if you want to worship how I do, bro, feel free to come up with me, bro, and then worship. Like
Yeah.
I'll show you how to. But the reason why I also do worship the way I do is because during this conference in this year, Pastor Sammy said he's all like, worship Jesus. How have you have suffered in the past? And me, like just reflecting on all the things that I've gone through and all the things that have happened to me, like you know what, like I'm gonna worship God how I've suffered,
Yeah.
like, and I'm gonna worship God how I'm suffering in the very moment too, like I'm not meant to be timid, like I'm not meant to hide or to hold anything back, I'm meant to like release all my fears, all my pain to Jesus,
That's
like
it.
he's here to hold my hand and tell me like, yo, everything's okay, like, so why would I be scared to worship him, why would I be scared what people think of me, because I'm not doing it for people, I'm doing it for God,
Yeah.
so
It's beautiful how God worked through you through all that experience as a kid, and now I mean, bro, I literally see you as being someone like Los now, So don't be
I know
don't
a
be
lot of people
surprised
tell
when
me
you.
that, man, but I'm like, yo, I'm not Lois. I may look like him, but
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying for you to get sent out and open up a campus. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I wouldn't be surprised when that happens. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know a lot of people tell me that, and I was like, yeah. I'm like, now I'm all like, cause I know back then I would be like, yeah, you're crazy,
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm like, oh, si Dios quiere, like that's by God's will, if that will happen.
Well, just keep it up, my boy. Keep it up. You're. I love how you and your brother, man.
Yeah.
I mean your mom's, your whole family. They're very they show a very lovable hospitality, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all are true servants. Like you can see the love in your servanthood. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I do give a lot of shout outs to Dugo, because I really feel like if it wasn't for his yes or for his curiosity to get back into God too, because all my siblings grew up knowing about God because of my mom. But yeah, if it wasn't for Dugo, because of what had happened before in our family trauma, like like Dugo was just trying to like figure out life, and then through that, like we found Efren, because Efren used to go to our old church back in the day, and he just like he texted him, and Efren hung out with him, and then Efren at the time already knew Pastor Carlos, and then he's like, bro, come over here, to Pastor Carlos's house, and then Dugo went, and then I don't know, it's just crazy how God just aligned,
Yeah.
like
Like
the
everybody.
way, yeah, everybody too, and it's just crazy how like he brought someone from our past church, and now he's with us, and now we're serving with them. It still blows my mind. Like I still go up to Efren, and I was like, bro, bro, isn't it crazy? Like we used to go to the same church back then, like Paul, like bro, I used to know Paul, like I used to know Andrea, Denise. Like it's just crazy that we all come from one church. We came from one house, and now we're serving another house.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy how just God works. It just blows my mind.
He's never done.
Yeah.
And he's still working. So
Yeah.
all right, my boy. Well, thank you so much for giving me your time, being open and
Oh, yeah, always.
and being courageous. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's not comfortable. When I share my story, bro, I caught a lot of heat too. So
No, yeah, I always tell people I don't mind sharing my story, Cause like who knows if my story will impact something Christian tells me. He's like, bro, my story isn't gonna reach the people your story is gonna reach, you know.
That's it, man.
And
That's it.
that's why like I always share my story. That's why I share bits and bits about it, you know. 'Cause, I mean, my story is long, like, you know, like I could keep going.
Oh yeah, no.
I got a lot of crazy stories.
You got 20 years of stories. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
like I always tell people like bits and parts of it. I'm like, bro, like, and then people are like, yo, this happened to me. I was like, bro, you know what? That happened to me too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. That's
so yeah, like I always tell people, I was like, bro, like I don't mind sharing, I don't mind being open, you know, like
Yeah.
the reason why I'm so free to speak about it is because like God delivered me and I'm not bound to my past anymore.
Praise
you know?
God, bro. Praise God. All right, my boy.
I just thank God that I'm just able to have this testimony, and my testimony is it's the old me, you know.
Yeah.
It's not the person that I am today.
So what would you share to a kid that went through, and to give him hope?
Honestly, I would just say just keep going. Like I know it may seem hard, and I know you may hear it over and over again, like keep going, but don't just keep going with your own will. Keep going with God's will. You know, because we don't rely on our own strength. We have to rely on God's strength.
That's it, bro.
And fall in love with Jesus too.
Yeah.
Don't just do it because like I have to do it. Like no, fall in love with him. Get to know who he truly is. You know, get to know how he wants to love you. Find your identity in God. You know, find yourself within God and too. And like you know, like who is God calling me to be? You know, and am I, you know, you're God's son. You know, you're God's daughter. You know, like dude, like you know, we're like you said, we're creating his own image, you know.
Yeah.
So like fall in love with Jesus, fall in love with who he truly is, you know. Not fall in love because like yo, my homies in love with Jesus. Nah, fall in love because I'm in love with Jesus, you know. I lived with my mom when we went to TJ. I never got to see my dad when I was in TJ.
But he was down there too, or?
I never really had a place to call home because like I always knew we were bound to move all the time. So like I never got attached. Like even with my room too, I never even took time to decorate my room. Like, I grew up in the crazy ones, like the Pentecostal, where people are dancing, you know, people are cheering, people are passing out on the floor.
How did that impacted you? What was your perception, and what would you think when you see something like that?